DeKalb County School District's Code of Student Conduct, the discipline test for middle and high school students, grades 6 through 12. As a DeKalb student, you are expected to 1. Be courteous and respectful to others, behave in a responsible manner, dress appropriately, obey all rules, cooperate with school staff, and of course, attend school daily. You are expected to know and follow the rules of your school and the DeKalb County School District. Sit down with your parent and or guardian tonight and review the student code of conduct with them. Ask questions if you do not understand. After reviewing the code of student conduct, you and your parent must sign the signature page and return it to the school. What will you learn today? When and where you can be disciplined by the school, expectations on weapons, expectations on drugs, expectations on school attendance, expectations on behavior, and of course, you will have a student pledge. Anti-bullying pledge. Please note that the review is not intended to teach you everything about the student code of conduct. You are expected to read it with your parent, understand it, and follow it. However, if you have any questions or need more information, please ask your teacher during this presentation. Now is the time to understand. When and where can I be disciplined by the school? 1 or first, on school grounds at any time, on the school bus, at or walking from the school bus stop, while participating in virtual instruction, when utilizing school equipment, off school grounds when a student leaves school without the permission of a school official, at a school-related event, i.e. field trip, game, presentation, etc. Additional disciplinary jurisdiction in the Code of Student Conduct. Students will be disciplined and possibly permanently removed from riding the bus for fighting on the school bus, at the bus stop, or while walking to or from the bus stop. When and where can I be disciplined by the school? You may also be disciplined for certain criminal misbehavior if it puts people or property at the school in danger, or which disrupts the educational process, no matter when or where it occurs. If I misbehave, I may receive 1. A warning or reprimand, timeout, a seat or schedule change, a parent conference, probationary contract, detention, in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, not allowed to attend any, by the way, out-of-school suspension, you're not allowed to attend any school or school activity, including virtual school. Counseling, expulsion, which means not allowed to attend any school, including virtual school. Assignment to alternative school, referral to outside agencies, referral to juvenile court, referral to law enforcement, or other consequences based on incident severity. If you are assigned to alternative school, there is no option. You must attend. You must complete the assigned time at the alternative school before you are released to your home school. If you are suspended or expelled, you may not go on the campus of any school within the district or to any school functions. Probation. If you violate school rules, you may be placed on local school or district-wide probation. This is a reminder to you to change your behavior and follow all school rules. Ask if you do not understand. Breaking rules while on probation could result in suspension, assignment to an alternative school, or simply expulsion. Let's pause for a test. Section 1. A student can only be disciplined for misbehavior that occurs at school during school hours. The answer is false. Students cannot be disciplined for fighting on the way to or from the bus stop. The answer, false. Students may be placed on probation contract for repeatedly misbehaving. True. Students who are suspended or expelled cannot attend any school functions. Example, football games, basketball games. The answer, true. Students may be disciplined for misbehavior that occurs while using the virtual school platform. Of course, your answer is true. Weapons. Weapons at school are a serious threat to everyone, including you. Report them. You must never, and I mean never, bring or possess weapons at school. At school, a school activity, on the school bus, on a virtual school platform, at any school bus stop, or on the way to or from school. Weapons at school will be reported to the police and may result in criminal charges. If you have any knowledge of a weapon at the school, report it. Please report it. You do not have to be identified. Again, you do not have to be identified. It is a violation to just be in possession of a weapon. What does that mean? The weapon can be anywhere on you or cannot be anywhere on you. Should not be in your purse, book bag, yours or one you are carrying belonging to another, locker issued to you, or taking something that has a weapon in it, even if you don't know what it is. Weapons continued. Never touch or accept any item that may be a weapon from another student. If you find a weapon, don't touch it, even if you find it on the way to or from school. Leave it there and report it to an adult. Examples of weapons. 1. Guns and or any type of firearms. This includes pistols, handguns, rifles, pellet and or BB guns, starters, stuns, tasers, lookalikes, or replica firearms are examples. Also, knives, razors, whether single or double-edged, box cutters, etc. 3. Blackjacks, or 4. Blackjacks. 4. Martial arts devices, being nunchucks, throwing stars, etc. Chains, bats and or clubs, brass knuckles, or artificial brass knuckles. More examples of weapons: fireworks, look-alike or replica weapons, explosive or corrosive chemicals, explosive devices, other devices which, when used inappropriately, cause discomfort and or harm to another person and or disrupt the class, school, or school event. Pepper spray and mace are weapons. Again, pepper spray and mace are weapons and are not allowed. No exceptions. Guns and or firearms. Federal law requires school systems to expel students for at least 1 calendar year for possession of a firearm. They do not have to be working or loaded. They do not have to be working or loaded. Do not touch firearms or any gun parts, including ammunition or bullets. Verbal or written threats to shoot the school, faculty, staff, and or another student will not be tolerated. Your consequence: placement at the alternative school or simply expulsion. Other items you should not have at the school: water pistols, items that project a liquid, toy guns, matches and or lighters. Again, matches and or lighters are illegal, are against the law. Laser pointers, devices that emit an electrical shock, other items that, when used inappropriately, cause discomfort and or harm to another person or disrupts the school. Let's pause for a test. Section 2. A student may bring pepper spray to school if he or she walks home from school. The answer: false. A student may be expelled for at least 1 calendar year for possession of a firearm on school property, bus, or at a school event. The answer: true. A student will be suspended for possessing a weapon if he or she was not the person who actually brought it to school. The answer: false. And number 4, a student may be expelled for threatening to shoot the school, a teacher, or another student. Of course, the answer to that is true. Drugs. Students must not possess, again, students must not possess, use, be under the influence of, sell or distribute, or receive any substance believed to be drugs. The possession, use, sale, and or distribution of drugs is illegal and harmful. It will be reported to law enforcement. Students may not possess drug-related paraphernalia, example, pipes, rolling papers, clips, etc. These are drugs: the possession of alcohol, marijuana, meth, ecstasy, synthetic drugs, i.e. spice, K2, etc., heroin, LSD, prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, inhalants, look-alike drugs, tablets and or capsules, other legal or illegal substances. Never touch or accept any item that may be drugs from another student. If you find drugs, do not touch them, even if you find them on the way to or from school. Leave them where they are and report them to an adult. Possessing, selling, or passing drugs within 1,000 feet of a school or property used by the school will be reported to the police. Drugs continue. A student may not use drugs at any school-related activity, on the way to or from school, on a virtual school platform, on a school bus, or at the school bus stop. Students who violate this rule may be referred to a drug education program, gaining results in prevention, or what we commonly call GRIP, in addition to other consequences. Drugs. Drugs can hurt and or kill you and affect your future and family. Stay away from drugs, people. Tobacco products are not allowed at school. I say again, tobacco products are not allowed at school, i.e. cigarettes and or papers, cigars, loose tobacco, pipes, chewing tobacco, snuff, or similar products. It is against the law for persons under 18 to use tobacco. Prescription drugs. Prior doctor and or parent consent is required to use prescription drugs at school. Please follow all school procedures. Searches. You and your belongings can be searched if you are suspected a reasonable suspicion of having an illegal and or banned item at school. Your locker, desk, or vehicle may be searched at any time. You are responsible for illegal and or banned items that are found under your control, example, in your book bags and or lockers, or vehicle. Therefore, do not do the following things. Hold something for another person, even if you don't know what it is. Let another person carry your bag throughout the day. Share lockers. You are held responsible for whatever is in your locker. Do not share lockers. And in the case of Miller Grove High School, do not share book bags and or storage facilities or lockers within the gymnasium. Report all illegal or banned items immediately to an adult. Let's pause for a test. Section 3. Number 1, vehicles brought on school property can be searched. The answer, true. A student having or using alcohol at school, on a virtual school platform, at the school function, or in a way that on the way to school could be suspended. The answer, true. 3, possession of any medication without the proper permission is against school rules. The answer, true. A student who is suspected of being under the influence or possessing marijuana may be searched by an administrator. The answer, true. Any incident of possession and or distribution of drugs within 1,000 feet of a school or property used by the school must be reported to the police. And again, the answer to that is true. Expectations of student attendance. Students are expected to attend school and or class, including virtual school, when required, each day and on time. Parents and or guardians must contact the school for all absences. You cannot make up work missed for unlawful absences unless approved by the principal. Excessive absences may be reported to juvenile court or the DeKalb Solicitor General. Expectations on student attendance. If you are having trouble getting to school, class, or on a virtual school platform, talk to an adult. If you skip class, your parent will be called in for a conference. Your attendance may affect your ability to drive, all of those 15 to 17 years old. Students must be enrolled and not under expulsion from public or private school to be eligible for a driver's license or a learner's permit. Expectations on behavior. Students must respect others and seek to resolve conflicts peacefully. Conflicts and issues should be immediately reported to an adult. Let the adults handle it. Fighting and/or other forms of violence may result in suspension and/or expulsion. Expectations on behavior. If you encourage a fight or get in it, you are an accessory. Again, if you encourage a fight or get in it, you are an accessory and may be given the same consequences as the other participants. Expectations on behavior. Verbal or physical threats to students, staff, and/or to the school will be taken seriously and will not be tolerated. Again, no threats. Follow all instructions given by school staff unless the instruction is dangerous or illegal. All forms of gambling and possession of gambling items are strictly prohibited. Expectations on behavior. Never go to another school unless you have been approved to be there. Don't go or stay on campus or enter the school after hours. Always tell the truth and never falsely report cards or school documents. Engaging in inappropriate activities is not allowed. That's offense 23 in your student code of conduct. Teacher, please provide an age-appropriate explanation of the offense. Let's pause for a test. Section 4. Any verbal threats to teachers, staff, or administrators may result in suspension or placement at the alternative school. The answer is true. Number 2, students are permitted to skip class. Of course, we know the answer to that is false. If you did not know, again, the answer to that is false. Academic work missed due to an unexcused absence cannot be made up unless approved by the principal. The answer to that is true. Number 4, a student who encourages a fight or who tries to prevent someone from breaking up a fight may also be disciplined. Again, the answer to that is true. Bullying. Bullying and all other forms of harassment will not be tolerated. Bullying equals unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involve a real or perceived power imbalance. Its actions include making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, etc. State law calls for an assignment to an alternative school on the third incident of bullying, and that's through grades 6 through 12. DeKalb Schools reserves the right to punish a student after the first incident of bullying. Cyberbullying. Never use texting or the internet to threaten or bully another person. Do not send, resend, or save inappropriate messages and/or images. Use of school equipment, virtual school platform, network, or time in school to threaten and/or bully another person is prohibited and may result in suspension or expulsion. Cyberbullying that occurs on or off school property will not be tolerated as well. Note, the person being bullied has the right to file a criminal complaint. If you are being bullied or see someone being bullied, report it immediately. Gang-related activity. Gang-related activity is prohibited by state law and the DeKalb County School District and will not be tolerated. Definition of a gang: group of 3 or more persons who engage in illegal activities that threaten the safety of students, staff, and volunteers, visitors, or others, or may disrupt the school. The existence of a gang may be established by the evidence of a common name or common identifying signs, symbols, tattoos, graffiti, or attire, or other distinguishing characteristics. Gang-related activities include but are not limited to displaying gang signs and/or symbols on personal or school property, including virtual school platforms, wearing gang-related clothing, shirts, hats, bandanas, belts, jewelry, etc., displaying gang hand signs, tattoos, and/or brands which symbolizes gang affiliation, defacing school property with gang graffiti, being on furniture, walls, buses, buildings, etc., the use of computers, cell phones, video cameras, etc., to video or shape or share gang activity. Acts of violence, including gang recruitment, intimidation, and school disturbances that may place students and/or staff in reasonable fear of their safety. Our students' dress code. Dress like you are coming to school. Again, dress like you're coming to school to learn. What you wear positively or negatively affects the school. If you have to guess whether or not something violates the student dress code, ask an adult or don't wear it. You should not wear clothing, jewelry, tattoos, piercings, or similar items that, 1, disrupt the school, including the virtual school platform, or endanger the health or safety of other persons, promote gangs or the use of drugs, alcohol, or tobacco, show words, phrases, or pictures that are violent, disruptive, sexual, offensive, and/or vulgar in nature. Also, that are derogatory regarding a person's ethnicity, color, race, religion, origin, sexual orientation, or disability. Again, let's pause for a test. Section 5. Wearing bandanas or any clothing that promotes gang activity is allowed. The answer to that is false. Number 2, fighting at school, in the restroom, or on a school bus is prohibited. Of course, the answer to that is true. A student may be written up for cyberbullying even if it wasn't done at school or with a school computer. Of course, the answer is true. Number 4, threatening another student either verbally or in writing is permitted. The answer to that is false. And number 5, all students must adhere to the student dress code. Of course, the answer to that is true. Your relationship with school staff. The school staff is there to help you with your education and future. All threats to an adult will be taken seriously. Watch what you say and/or do to an adult. Intentionally hitting or injuring a school staff member could result in permanent expulsion. Tell an adult or call 1-877-SAY-STOP. That's 1-877-729-7867 or Dcsd Alert/Ethics line. That number is 1-888-475-0482. If you have any questions or information on weapons, bullying, drugs, gang activity, threat or planned activities that may threaten the safety or well-being of students, staff, and/or other persons at the school. You can report anonymously. You will not have to identify yourself. Electronic communication devices. These include, but are not limited to, cell phones, tablets, smartwatches, etc., and nowadays, smart glasses or meta glasses. These items may not be used during instructional time, start of school, and/or virtual school day, throughout the end of the school and/or virtual school day, or on school buses, unless there is an approved instructional purpose. Turn off and secure these items during instructional time. Electronic communication devices as well. You may not use any device to, 1, take pictures or videos of anyone at school without the principal's explicit permission, or 2, send text messages, pictures, and/or videos to other students during instructional time or on the school bus. Property. Taking or having something that belongs to the school or other person without permission is not allowed. Never keep an item from another student if you believe it has been stolen. Possession of stolen property is against the rules and can result in charges. Stealing is illegal and will be reported to the police. Property as well. Damaging or vandalizing school or personal property is against school rules. Losing or damaging school materials, using someone else's computer ID or password, misusing the school's computer, network, or internet, or possessing counterfeit money may lead to consequences. If you damage or lose school materials, you will be required to pay for the replacement, or it's commonly called restitution. Classroom and/or school disturbances. You and your classmates have the right to learn in a clean and safe environment. No one has the right to disrupt or interfere with that, whether in class, at school, or during virtual learning. Your main purpose at school is to focus on learning each day. If you ever feel like you're unable to do this, please talk with your parent and/or school staff for support. Unsafe action or Code 26. Stop and think. Again, stop and think before you do something that may hurt yourself or others. This code only applies when the violation is not covered by another offense code. Expectations on the school bus. Don't do anything that may distract the driver and the safe operation of the bus. Devices that may affect the operation of the school bus are prohibited. If it is not allowed in school, it is not allowed on the bus or at the bus stop. Know the rules. More information. If you help or encourage someone else to violate rules, basically being an accessory, you can also receive consequences. If you are issued a school ID badge, you must keep it on you at all times. If you continue to violate school rules, you may be suspended, expelled, or assigned to an alternative school. Let's pause for a test. Again, section 6, this will be our final test. I can be suspended. Number 1, I can be suspended for possessing a stolen cell phone, even if it wasn't the person who actually stole it. The answer to that is true. Number 2, a student may be suspended or expelled for making threatening comments to a teacher, administrator, or other staff member, or visitors to the school. The answer to number 2 is true. Number 3, students may use their cell phones at any time of the school day, even if it is not for instructional purposes. The answer to number 3, false. And number 4, Students found guilty of being accessories to any misbehavior prohibited by school rules may not be subject to the same consequences as students who directly participated in the incident. And of course, that answer is false. Number 5, damage to textbooks, media center materials, computer-related equipment, or restrooms may result in suspension and restitution. Of course, the answer to that is true. Number 6, it is permissible for students to take pictures or videos of fights or other incidences at school without authorization from the principal. Of course, that is false. Number 7, students should tell an adult if they have a conflict with another person and avoid violence. Of course, that is true. And number 8, using a person's computer ID, or password without his or her permission is permissible. Of course, the answer to number 8 is false. We are close to the end. However, we do have our student pledge stating, please follow along or repeat after me. I pledge to follow all school rules and help create a safe learning environment at school or virtual school. I will review the Safe School Pledge for students and the Anti-Bullying Pledge with my parent and or guardian, sign it, and return it to my school by tomorrow. Anti-Bullying, Harassment, or Hazing Pledge. I state your name. Realize that bullying, harassment, and hazing are wrong and hurtful to my fellow students. I therefore pledge that I will not in any way participate or encourage bullying and or all forms of harassment. Be safe, respect everyone, and have a great school year. You can do it. Believe in yourself. This is a message from the DeKalb County School District, Department of Student Relations. Y'all have a wonderful day.